Welcome back, everyone, and we have yet another example of why the U.S. is far and away set apart from the rest of the world. When you have a newspaper that can actually put freedom of expression in quotes when they're reporting on a call to censor the internet, you know there's a problem. Currently, there are a lot of people meeting in Paris after the Christchurch massacre to demand censorship, really. The U.S. right now is not agreeing. They're saying, no, we're not going to censor our people. And I can argue on both sides of this. It's something I've told many people. I've proven time and time again that I could argue either side of an issue because I was trained in public speaking and in debate. And in one case, all the way back in high school, one of our assignments was to invite a local leader of the community to come and speak to the class. I invited the chief of police. He shows up on the day, ironically, where we were debating the Second Amendment. He walks in, and the teacher is very relieved and said, finally, someone who will go against him. She told him the topic. I told him my stance, and he looked at her and said, no, I actually agree with him. So I was made to debate gun control, basically support it, and ended up winning the debate. Made me sick, but I did it. In this scenario, after the monster that entered a house of worship and slaughtered people because of the hatred and bigotry in his heart and soul, he broadcast a lot of it over Facebook Live. They're arguing that that needs to be censored. And on one hand, I don't want that out in the world. But on the other hand, how else are we going to know about these people if we're censoring them, if we're blocking them from using these tools? And I don't trust the companies doing it to do it right. I don't trust Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Vimeo, TikTok, any of them. I don't trust them to properly designate and break down between a random nut job, someone who is speaking in a way they don't understand, or someone who actually is a threat. We already know from Parkland that that shooter actually posted on a YouTube video he was going to be a school shooter. YouTube did nothing. And I know there's the irony. I'm on YouTube talking about this. But where were the people who would, in this scenario, be enforcing these rules and telling you what you can and cannot say on their platform? Where are they when that happened? And the answer is they fell down on that job. That should have been a gigantic warning that set bells off in every office they have. That was then immediately calls made from YouTube leadership to the FBI reporting this. But we know that there was a failure on the part of many different law enforcement agencies and so many others that led to the tragedy in Parkland. We know that one of the shooters in Colorado very recently had made several posts on social media where he was violently anti-Christian, violently anti-conservative, and violently anti-Donald Trump. Where were the warning bells that should have been set off? Where was the blocking of terrorists? Where was the calls to law enforcement that this person may be dangerous? None of them were made. And now we're just supposed to trust that all of the people who have fallen down on the job for years upon years are suddenly going to be absolutely perfect little monitors to only catch the terrorists and criminals. I'm sorry, I don't believe it. One needs only look at the more prominent conservative voices, and I don't hold myself in that crowd. But look at the Jack Posobiec's, the Candace Owens, and so many others on Twitter, and how often, even if you follow them, that you don't see their their tweets and their threads unless you go to their profile. This is what is called shadow banning. They're not actually banned or suspended or blocked from the site. They just don't show up to anyone who doesn't go seeking them out. Meanwhile, ads for every depraved new movie or television show or every new product that fits with veganism or whatever you want, those are everywhere. I have blocked God only knows how many movie Twitter feeds multiple times per movie and have reported it, and I've heard nothing back. So, why in the blue blazes would you trust someone who has proven to be inept at enforcing their own rules and proven to be biased against one side of the political argument center? Why would you trust them to suddenly abide by new rules that are meant for actual protection of society? And the answer is you should not. There needs to be, yes, there needs to be something in place to basically flag people who use those words. If someone made a reference to doing something horrifically illegal or terrorism or the like, that person needs to then, someone needs to know about it. In a perfect world, the people who see that post online would then report them. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen because social media becomes a virtual sounding tank. Okay, you have a virtual aquarium, and people enforce this by going private or blocking. I've brought this up on several occasions with several people. Brian Sims, the coward who harassed an old woman and tried to dox teenagers, encouraged others to do it by paying them, has locked his account so only his followers can see it. Shannon Watts does the same, and famously, well, she used to, but Shannon Watts famously blocks people and then continues to spread lies about them. One need only look at Dana Lash to find proof of that. An example I brought up last year, 2018, in Dallas for the annual meeting. Shannon tweeted out that Dana had literally just walked up and threatened her when Dana was across town with her family. Someone took a screenshot, tagged Dana. Dana responded by telling her, "I'm sorry, hon, but no, I'm several miles away from you, nowhere near you." And of course, Shannon ignored it, as did her followers. And that's what happens with social media. You can censor and you can block all you want. You're not going to stop those who have evil in their hearts and their souls. You need to be able to watch them. There's a reason that we don't take the worst of the worst when we put them in prison and leave them where they are alone most of the day. They are watched more than others. I've worked in a county jail. You have the hot checks and the parking tickets and the things like that out in general population, and they typically just do their time and go home. They'll beg guards for a cigarette or whatnot, but that's it. You have others, the violent criminals. You have the assaults, the attempted murders. You have the sexual assault crime inmates. They're kept where they're watched like a hawk. Some of them in isolation where literally about every 8 to 9 minutes someone is walking by and peering into every individual cell for about a minute or so each. They're never left alone. And the reason is we know that they are the ones prone to doing something very, very stupid and wrong. So we watch them. And this is where it gets dangerous. Who watches the watchers? And right now, the answer to that is no one. Zuckerberg, Dorsey, no one is saying a word against them, except their users. I dumped Facebook over 18 months ago. And I can't tell you the amount of stress it took out of my life. I will add the caveat that I do still have a profile, and that is because I have a couple of iOS games that my parents enjoy playing that need me to help them, where I'll help do certain things or whatnot, and those require a Facebook login. My Facebook profile now is literally I have my mother and father as friends on Facebook, and I play games that they want me to when they need help. I don't even view my Facebook at all. Twitter is a bit of a different animal until there is a viable replacement for it, about the same as YouTube. It's not going to change, but we're seeing some seeds planted where, for example, Marshville, Alabama, where you have the privately owned public space. with Jack himself calling Twitter a public forum, he's now running very close to breaking the law. And we're going to be seeing a lot of this. Unfortunately, even if the US government is vehemently opposed, as they are to this, Zuckerberg, Dorsey, Google, YouTube, TikTok, Vine, whoever it is, they can just say, well, we'll just follow those rules even though they're not law. And until they're sued for actually violating someone's rights or whatnot, they're not going to change. And unfortunately, it's going to come to that. But I've talked long enough. Let me know what you think. Keep it civil in the comments. As always, we do not learn from argument, we learn from debate. Please remember also to like and share this video, as well as to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you're among the first to know of all new content as it is posted. Until next time, everyone have a wonderful day.